Welcome, beautiful soul, to Love Arcana Vault. Let's gently open the energy around your heart today. Something is pressing through the silence right now, and it feels ancient, emotional, and strangely gentle, like a truth rising from deep water after being hidden for a very long time. With this first card, the Whale, Wisdom, I am immediately brought into the energy of a love that has not been shallow, not casual, not easily explained. This is not the kind of connection that lives on the surface. This is the kind that moves underneath everything, beneath words, beneath timing, beneath pride, beneath the little performances people use when they are terrified of being fully seen. And I need you to stay with me, because this part matters. This person loves you deeper than they have dared to admit, not only to you, but to themselves. There is a feeling here of someone trying to keep their emotions contained, trying to swim calmly through the outer world, while inside, there is an entire ocean moving because of you. They may have acted composed. They may have gone quiet. They may have made you question whether what you felt was real. But this card is not showing absence. It is showing depth. It is showing memory. It is showing something vast that has been held back because speaking it would change everything. You have felt this, haven't you? That strange pull in your chest, that moment when your mind told you to let it go, but your heart whispered, no, there is still something here. You may have tried to be reasonable. You may have told yourself, maybe I imagined the intensity. Maybe I read too much into the signs. Maybe I wanted it so badly that I created meaning where there was none. But your intuition was not inventing this. Your heart was picking up on a frequency your eyes could not yet prove. The Whale carries old emotional wisdom. It speaks of things stored in the body, in the soul, in the quiet places where people hide what they are not ready to confess. And what I am feeling is that this connection has taught you to listen differently. Not desperately, not anxiously, but deeply. It has brought up every place in you that once believed love had to be earned through waiting, proving, softening, forgiving, understanding, shrinking. You have loved through uncertainty before. You have survived mixed signals. You have tried to make peace with people who gave you pieces of love and expected you to call it enough. Now listen closely. This connection is not here to repeat the old wound. It is here to reveal where the wound ends. This person has been wearing a mask of calmness. They may appear distracted, busy, logical, emotionally restrained. They may act like they are moving through life normally, but underneath, they are remembering details they pretend not to remember. Your voice, your energy, the way you made them feel seen without forcing anything open. They compare the emotional temperature of everyone else to you, and no one lands the same. The truth is, their silence has not been empty. It has been crowded with fear, longing, pride, timing, pressure, and the terrifying knowledge that you are not replaceable, and something is beginning to rise. And with this next card, the Dolphin, joy. The energy changes in a way that feels almost unexpected, because after all that depth, after all that heaviness, after all that silence sitting at the bottom of the heart, here comes this movement toward light. Not loud happiness, not forced positivity, something softer than that, something that feels like the first breath after being underwater too long. This person has tried to convince themselves that what they feel for you is manageable. They may have told themselves it was just chemistry, just timing, just curiosity, just a chapter they could quietly close if they stayed disciplined enough, distracted enough, proud enough. But the heart does not always obey the story the mind writes for survival, and that is what feels so specific here. They can be in the middle of an ordinary day, doing ordinary things, and suddenly there you are. Not physically, maybe, but your energy arrives. A memory, a song, a phrase you once said, a place that reminds them of you, a certain kind of laughter, a certain kind of silence, and for a moment, their whole inner world tilts back toward you. They may not show this. They may not post about it. They may not speak it out loud, but something in them keeps surfacing, keeps breaking through the stillness, almost like this dolphin rising through blue water. Joy is trying to come back into a place where fear has been holding its breath, and I want you to understand this clearly. Their feelings are not becoming deeper all of a sudden. They are becoming harder to suppress. That is different, because something that was already there, something they buried, Something they pushed down because it was inconvenient or overwhelming is beginning to move. It is beginning to make itself known. And the more they try to act untouched, the more life keeps bringing your name, your energy, your memory, your imprint back into the room. But stay with me, because this part matters. You were not wrong when you felt the emotional tension behind their silence. You were not wrong when you sensed that their calmness had another story underneath it. Your intuition was not chasing fantasy. It was reading the little places where their energy contradicted their behavior. The pause before they answered. The way they looked at you when they thought you would not notice. The way the connection felt unfinished, even when there were no clear words to hold on to. This is why it has been so hard for you to fully release it. Not because you are weak, not because you are obsessed, not because you cannot let go, but because something in this connection never completed itself. The emotional sentence was left open. The door was not slammed shut, it was quietly held, as if someone was standing on the other side with their hand still resting against it. The dolphin brings joy, but it also brings communication. It is the part of the heart that wants to leap, to express, to stop making love so heavy and hidden. And this person is starting to feel the pressure of everything they have not said. They are beginning to realize that you were not just someone who made them feel wanted. You made them feel alive in places they had learned to numb. That is why no one else lands the same. They may have tried to compare. They may have tried to move forward. They may have tried to fill the space with noise, work, attention, other conversations, other possibilities. But there is a difference between being distracted and being free. And they are starting to understand that because your energy did not just touch their heart, it awakened something in them that they cannot put back to sleep. Now, listen closely. The reason they have been holding back is not as simple as pride. Pride is only the shell. Underneath it, there is something more fragile, more human, and much harder for them to admit. And with this card, the fox. Cunning. That fragile place begins to show itself, because this is not the energy of someone who simply does not care. This is the energy of someone who learned how to protect their feelings before they ever learned how to speak them. The fox does not reveal everything at once. It watches, it studies, it moves carefully. It survives by reading the room, by calculating the safest path, by staying one step ahead of exposure. And that is what I feel around this person. They may have been strategic with their emotions, careful with their words, selective with their attention, not because their heart was empty, but because their heart felt too visible around you. You saw through something in them. Maybe not because you tried to, maybe not because you demanded confession or chased answers, but your presence had a way of slipping past their defenses. You reached a place in them that they usually keep hidden, even from people who think they know them well, and that frightened them. Because loving you would require honesty, not just with you, but with themselves. It would require them to stop pretending they are fine with distance, stop pretending they are unaffected, stop pretending they can keep everything under control while their heart keeps turning back towards you in private. This person may fear rejection more than they admit. They may fear that if they finally open the door, you will not be standing there anymore. They may fear disappointing you because somewhere inside, they know you deserve consistency, not confusion. They may fear that they are not ready to offer what your heart has been asking for. And instead of saying, "I am scared," they may have gone quiet instead of saying, "I feel too much." They may have acted like they felt less. But stay with me, because this part matters. Understanding their fear does not mean excusing the pain it caused you. Their silence still affected you. Their distance still made your heart question itself. Their mixed energy still pulled you into those old rooms inside yourself. The rooms where love once felt conditional, where you had to be useful to be chosen, gentle to be kept, forgiving to be valued, quiet to avoid being abandoned. You have known what it feels like to wonder if your softness was too much. You have wondered if you cared too deeply, if you noticed too much, if your heart was somehow asking for more than love was willing to give. But your softness was never the problem. Your tenderness was never weakness. Your ability to feel deeply was never something to apologize for. You were not wrong for wanting clarity. You were not wrong for wanting someone to meet you with the same emotional courage you were offering. You were not wrong for sensing that a connection this deep should not have to live forever inside silence. Now listen closely. This connection is pressuring both of you to stop hiding from yourselves. For you, it is asking you to stop shrinking your needs just because someone else is afraid to meet them. For this person, it is asking them to stop using control as a substitute for courage. The fox shows me someone who has been clever enough to avoid the truth, but not free enough to escape it. They can delay. They can distract. They can dress fear up as patience, logic, timing, or distance, but the truth keeps finding little openings. A thought at night, a sudden wave of longing, a moment of jealousy they did not expect, a memory that refuses to fade, a quiet realization that the safest choice is not always the truest one. And something in the energy is preparing to break the silence, but it will not come through desperation. It will not come because you abandon yourself at the doorway of someone else's fear. It begins as you remember your worth so fully that love has no choice but to meet you honestly. And this reveal may not arrive in the way your mind has been trying to predict. It may come through a message that feels simple on the surface, but carries a weight you can feel underneath. It may come through a conversation that begins carefully, then suddenly opens into something real. It may come through an unexpected meeting, a look that lasts too long, a confession they did not plan to make, or an undeniable sign that reminds your heart, this is not over in the way fear tried to tell me it was. But I do not want you waiting by the window of their silence as if your life cannot begin until they knock. Because this changes everything. The whale showed the depth. The dolphin showed the joy trying to return. The fox showed the fear, the strategy, the careful hiding. And together, these cards are telling a story of love that has been moving underneath the surface, trying to find a way into truth. But the truth does not only rise in them, it rises in you, too. Your destined love reveals itself when you stop abandoning yourself for the possibility of being chosen. When you stop making your heart small enough to fit inside someone else's hesitation. When you stop confusing longing with destiny and begin asking whether love is also able to show up with honesty, presence, and care. This person may be awakening to what you mean to them. They may be realizing that your absence is louder than they expected. They may be seeing that what they tried to control has quietly become the very thing their heart keeps seeking. But your power is not in chasing that realization. Your power is in becoming so rooted in your own worth that anything unclear must either become clear or fall away. This is the part I don't want you to miss. You are not here to beg love to recognize you. You are not here to prove that you are patient enough to deserve devotion. You are not here to teach someone your value by bleeding quietly in the background. This love can meet you. It can soften. It can open. It can become honest. But it cannot replace the self-love you are being asked to choose right now. And as you choose yourself, the energy changes. The kind of love coming toward you is not meant to feel like emotional survival. It is not meant to leave you guessing until your nervous system forgets what peace feels like. It is safe, mutual, steady, spiritually familiar, passionate, but peaceful, intense, but not chaotic. A love where both hearts pour, both hearts listen, both hearts return. A love that does not make you question whether you are too much. A love that feels like emotional home. And I feel that deep water from the whale finally bringing truth to the surface. Not rushed, not forced, but rising. What was hidden is becoming too heavy to keep hidden. What was unspoken is moving closer to language. What was feared is asking to be faced. So place your hand over your heart and say, I am worthy of the love that is destined for me. I do not chase what is meant to recognize me. I am chosen. I am remembered. I am ready to receive love that is honest, safe, and true. If this message found the quiet place in your heart, comment, I am ready to receive true love, and subscribe to Love Arcana Vault if this reading resonated with your spirit, because your heart is entering a season where love no longer has to hide from the truth. May you be guided gently. May your worth feel undeniable. May the love meant for you arrive with clarity, courage, and peace.